Imagine for just 1 second that you and your friends are going out this Friday night. You're going to see a movie. Whatever blockbuster is happening, whatever biggest movie is coming out, everybody's coming together, and you're going to get together and you're going to go just to a local restaurant, and all of a sudden people show up to the restaurant and you sit down and everybody is ready to order appetizers, and your two friends come in a little bit later. One of them is dressed up in a tuxedo and the other one in a full-on like prom level ball gown kind of dress. What would it feel like really in that moment? I mean, can you imagine the kind of jokes that you would give? You know, the way that you'd be like, what are you wearing? It would be weird, right? Well, the reason for that is because it doesn't match the energy. It'd be the same way that, you know, if somebody showed up at work like they were dressed to go out to a football game with the big foam finger and the black lines, you know, under their eyes, and in the t-shirt of their favorite team. That would be odd. You have to match the energy for the event you're going to. This energy matching principle is really important to small groups. You see, the people that are coming to your group for the first time, they may not have been a Christian for long. They may not have a relationship with Jesus even yet. And they've come to the church on the weekend, maybe then even for the first time. And when they got there, they got a certain kind of experience. There were people at the doors ready to greet them, and the doors were opened and hands were shaken, and they were walked through the foyer. People got to know them. There was music on, you know, really to cover the white space, to make it feel comfortable for them. And what's so good about that is that it helps them to really get acclimated to this new life of coming together in a social way and learning about God. You see, in our small group environments, we want to do the same thing. We want to match that energy. See, they came to church and liked having that at church. What we want to do is we want to model that within our small group community. So what are some best practices for that? One of them would be placing somebody close to the door, not to where they'd have to knock and wait 10 seconds for somebody really to come in, but somebody is really on point, ready to open the door, that the second they arrive, the door kind of flies open, and people are able to really greet them and to help them to come into your space. It'd be a good idea to actually walk them around the room and introduce them to people, help people to become comfortable with them and for them to be comfortable ultimately with people. You know, another great best practice would be adding that music. What would it be like for them to walk into the environment, and if they're feeling uncomfortable, if it's awkward for them to be in somebody else's living room or in this classroom, what would it be like for there to be a little bit of music going on in the background to fill the white space and to help them to really get acclimated? Because here's the thing, the reason why we have people on the doors, the reason why we do that as a church where they come in and the music's playing and you get that experience is because before they ever hit the chair in our worship space, they've already decided whether they're going to come back. Before they've ever heard a note of worship, before they've ever heard anything that the pastor has said, they've already decided whether or not this is going to be their church home. They were able to feel it when they walked into the room. And the same thing is true for you. Before they ever get to the first small group question, before you ever start the official discussion, icebreakers, that sort of thing, before you ever get there, they've already made a read on the room. They've already felt the warmth of the room. They've already made a decision over whether this is a warm and welcoming environment or whether this is one that is not geared really toward receiving new people. You've got your 5 and you're not really looking for your 6. They can feel that. And what's awesome about this is that with just a few practices, with making sure that there's somebody at the door, with walking new people around the room and helping them to shake hands, with having music on in the background, really matching the energy of the spiritual experience that they had received on the weekend with what they're going to experience now with you in the small group. When you match that energy, they'll feel comfortable, they'll stay. The relationships that you want to build as a small group leader, the community that you want to have as a small group leader will happen. It'll be easier for them.